Ooh, what's this? Wait, is that new? I don't remember that thing in the game. Like that specific Soul Fighter arena stage. I don't remember that. Yeah, maybe Jin. No, they were all in the arena, I swear. Never out of the arena. This is all old footage. Oh, maybe not.
Hey folks, I'm Andre, also known as Meddler.
And I'm Jeremy, aka Riot Brightman. Welcome back. We hope you all had a wonderful and happy holiday season, and we're really excited to welcome you to season 2024.
Now, we're filming this video in early November, so anything that happens between now and the start of the season won't be covered in this video. Today, we're going to be joined by more folks from across the league team to talk about some of the things coming in 2024, like ranked updates, new champions, some information about Arcane Season 2, and some updates on Esports.
Now, before we get started, don't forget that when you jump into a game in 5 days, Summoner's Rift is going to look and feel a little bit different. Get ready for some new objectives, map changes, and updates to the core item system. And as a reminder, Season Start Cinematic is going to be releasing next week on January 10th.
Eevee. Low.
Best of luck in your
thing, I
climbs,
think.
and welcome to season 2024.
The one where you have high losses and then low wins. LP gaming. I don't think I've dealt with it. Unless you're like
Hi
super high
everyone,
rank.
I'm
One of
Lexi
the
Gao,
least
aka Riot Lexical, the Champions team lead.
And I'm Soap May, also known as Soapbox, production lead on the Champions team.
We've been working on Skarner's update for a while now, and we've been polishing him up to be ready for his big day. Meanwhile, he's getting ready for some fun too. Last time we talked about Skarner, we showed his gameplay, but we never really talked about his lore.
Skarner was a founding member of the Yuntal, where he helped guide and shape Ixtal into the prospering region it is now. He is, however, very suspicious of the outside world and believes that Ixtal should be isolated to be safe.
new
And he will
lore?
not hesitate to run down intruders to keep it that way. We are currently finishing up Skarner's VGU, and we can't wait for you to skitter across the rift in the first half of the year.
After Skarner,
For
we're
sure.
working on two
I know.
other champion updates. The first one is for a champion we haven't talked about before, but plays a pretty big role in a show that maybe you heard about. Arcane.
Huh?
We want to bring their Arcane version to the Rift with updated visuals and VO, while also giving some love to their gameplay.
Who?
You can expect to see them early next year after the second season is over.
Huh?
As for what comes after the Arcane-inspired VGU, we're excited to announce that we'll finally be tackling Shyvana.
She has a great theme and has become an iconic part of the league roster. Thus, we're thinking about refining and progressing who
Yo,
she
what
is
is-
and
what are
tuning up
these
her
two?
gameplay instead of a complete overhaul on her narrative and themes. Think more Udyr and less Skarner.
What the?
But we want to be transparent about her timeline. Shyvana's VGU will not be released until 2025 after
Aw.
the Arcane VGU.
That's-
Okay, now
Aw.
on to the new champions. We've been teasing a cute, small ADC that will be swooping into the Rift soon. Meet Smolder, the fiery
Oh my
fledgling.
goodness.
Look at our cute little son.
Oh no! It's a dragon! Run away! Fire!
Alright, I'm gonna go replay this after the whole video's done, but
At
whoa.
least I didn't end up in a tree again. Hi, I'm Smolder. Oh, my
Wait,
mom says hi
that's like
too.
Pantheon are.
Who's the best dragon? I'm the best dragon. Hey, Mom, what are the fire thingies next to my ears called?
This is cute, right? Looks like Ari.
okay. Was that me? Whoa!
That looks like a drive-by.
Look what I can do.
Little caster mage. Holy crap. And kites.
Holy smart!
Well, this looks more broken than...
Hey, where'd
I mean,
everybody
this looks
go?
broken.
Oh, yeah. Did you see that, Mom? I smoked them.
It's like, okay,
One
like,
of the goals we
first off, I need to figure out, like, okay, that's just like whatever. But the Skarner, I want to look at the Skarner thing, right?
Never really talked.
helped guide it is
If you look
the world
here,
and believes that world.
this is like
He is, however,
that's his like new EW thing where it
very
drags him, I
suspicious
guess.
of the outside world
Those
and
are
believes
bolder
that
people.
Ishtal should be isolated to be safe. And he will not hesitate to run down
Yeah.
intruders to keep it
I
that
don't
way.
know what his
We
R
are
looks
currently
like yet,
finishing
though, I
up
think.
Skarner's VGU, and we
then
can't
I
wait
wanna
for you
see-
to skitter across the rift in the first half of the year.
After Skarner, we're working on 2 other champion updates. The first one is for a champion we haven't talked about before. Plays the you heard about, Arcane.
We've never heard of this champ. She's coming. Okay, interesting. All right, that makes sense. They're making an Arcane champ after season 2. That makes sense. And then here, like if we go through this guy, we just see like, let's see this combo.
Your little son.
Oh no!
Like,
It's a dragon!
we know which one is this Q.
Run away! Ah!
That looks like an auto. It looks like it powers up. It's like 1, 2, 3. It looks like an auto though, but it could be his Q. He flashes, and this is probably his W. W is usually like a utility drifting, like ASOL W kind of thing. I could see this being like ASOL W. Maybe Nash is just good at
At
him.
least I didn't end up in a tree again. Hi, I'm Smolder.
This is weird. He summons it behind him. This looks like a Pantheon reversal. It absolutely destroys
My
him.
mom says hi too. Who's the best dragon? I'm the best dragon. Hey mom, what are the fire
don't see any
thingies next to my
CC yet,
ears
though.
called? Oh, okay. Was that me? Whoa! Look what
But
I
watch
can
this.
do.
This Q. Big damage. Wait, what?
Look what I can do.
Q. Some kind of... See, this spread, this one looks definitely like a... Like maybe like a E ability that spreads. It's a lot of AoE. Like a very coney champion.
Hey, where'd
And the
everybody
cooldown
go?
looks kind of
Oh
insane.
yeah! Did you see that, mom? I smoked them.
Ooh, let's check
Smolder
this
is
out.
coming to League of Legends very shortly. Thanks to Riot, I'll be able to show him to you today. Excuse the watermark, but that's how we got it.
Okay.
Smolder is
That's
the
E?
first actual dragon champion in League of Legends.
It's Q.
As Riot says, Shyvana is just half dragon, and Aurelion Sol is a celestial being,
Q.
and therefore not
W,
really
E,
a
R
dragon.
is the...
That
Oh, maybe.
being said,
I don't know
Smolder
if
and
the
Aurelion
Rs.
Sol are rivals in-game. Smolder is an AD caster marksman.
Oh,
He's
his R is the one where he
short
kinda
range
goes in the
and
air?
teamfight oriented.
Yes.
He excels at area of effect damage as the game progresses.
His AD.
If you play against him, you should try to punish him in the early game, when he
Holy
is still
crap.
weak.
Maybe that's a Z
Smolder is a
actually.
cute creature AD carry. As usual in my videos, I'm gonna focus on his abilities and his gameplay. So let's dive straight into it.
Tiamat.
Smolder's passive is called Dragon Practice. Hitting champions with abilities and killing enemies with your Q grants Smolder a stack of passive. Stacks increase the damage of his basic abilities.
Okay.
Smolder's Q
The
is
scaling
called
champion.
Super Scorcher Breath. Smolder belches flame at his enemies.
A poke.
This ability evolves according to your passive stacks.
Oh.
At 25
ASOL.
stacks, Q starts damaging all enemies surrounding the target.
Okay.
At 125 stacks, this ability also
Oh.
sends explosions beyond the target. They
Yeah.
deal 75% of the ability's damage.
Okay.
At 225 stacks, it burns the target, dealing max health true damage over
What?
3 seconds.
Okay, this is just
Enemy
a
champions that drop
hyperscaling.
below a total health threshold while burning are killed instantly.
That's
Smolder's W is called Achoo! Smolder
Slows
lets
them?
out an adorable flaming sneeze, damaging and slowing enemies' hit.
ooh.
Hitting enemies causes an additional explosion. Smolder's E is called Flap Flap Flap.
Okay.
Smolder takes flight, gaining movement speed and ignoring terrain for 1.25
So
seconds.
you can go over
While
walls
flying,
and escape.
Smolder attacks the lowest health enemy. And finally his ult. Smolder's R is called Mom.
Oh.
Smolder's mom breathes fire from above, dealing extra damage and slowing enemies in the center of her fire.
Yo,
If
this
this
chap
ability
does have
hits Smolder,
CC.
he's also healed.
Or wait.
So let's have a look at some of his gameplay clips.
Alright,
As
I
I
just look
already
broken.
said, Smolder is a scaling caster marksman. He relies on his abilities as his primary damage output. So early game, it seems like you mostly wanna focus on farming your stacks. In the clips we can see that they play Smolder with press the attack as a keystone. As for the items, they seem to focus on AD crit caster build with Navori, Essence River and Collector. Most of Smolder's damage is physical, although he does a bit of magic damage on his E or Q. His E also allows him to go through the walls. What's also really important
does look like a
is that, as we can see here, Smolder's ultimate can crit. So his mount seems to be pretty powerful.
Hard to kill.
Crit build definitely seems like the way to go. I like that gameplay wise, Smolder is gonna be a unique champion. League doesn't really have many caster marksmen, and his kit seems fairly straightforward. Not some other 200 years craziness like we had with Aphelios, for example. I'm looking forward to play him on the PB once he is there. Let me know what do you think about Smolder, and what would you like to see me test with Smolder.
Passive scaling is really broken. He's like a hyper carry.
One of the goals we had for Smolder
it looks broken,
was to
but
make
it doesn't have ADC, and the cooldowns look very low.
All of the recent ADCs
like
we've released are high skilled champs or very non-traditional. Aphelios, Samira, Zeri, Mila. We want to fulfill the fantasy of a little dragon who can focus on honing his fire-breathing skills.
Yeah, like
and while Smolder may be working on his skills, his mom is never too far in the distance and is always ready to make an appearance when he needs her the most.
After Smolder, we'll be heading further north to cool off from all that dragon fire. Our Vestayan solo laner is someone we've been wanting to bring to the Rift for a while, but the last time we tried that development took a bit of a detour and we ended up with Silas.
What?
But not to worry, the Champions team is back on the case and is focusing on making a new mid-range mage. We have another champion in the works who should be a familiar face to all.
Wait, I think he's an ADC? This guy could be an ADC because he was laning against a Tristana. Oh, maybe it is ADC, okay. Why would they make another mid lane? Oh, my bad.
But we're gonna hand things over to Riot Bright Moon and Meddler to talk a little bit more about our new upcoming champion.
Okay, well, if he's ADC, then damn.
Last year, we shared that Arcane Season 2 would be releasing globally this November. Everyone at Riot is really excited by the show, and we've been inspired to bring Arcane into game more.
It makes sense, Cole, because, like, why would they make a dragon who's, like, ASOL? And, like, the W is literally the same as, like, I'm gonna say it's the W where he flies around. Literally the same as his W, right? Where you can.
We're excited to show you a small preview of one of the things the League team's been working on. So the first bit of Arcane you'll be seeing in League will be Ambessa Madara. She'll bring Noxian domination to the Rift. And much like how she is in the show, she won't be for the faint of heart in game. Don't let her large stature fool you though. She brings both strength and speed, sidestepping attacks with surprising agility.
And Ambessa's only the first piece of Arcane coming to League this year.
What the hell?
To celebrate Arcane Season 2,
What's
we'll
she do
have
different? She's just a regular
Arcane-inspired
human.
gameplay and a new VGU, new skins, as well as a few other surprises. I am so excited for the new season. I hope you are too. Can we show them a clip? Maybe just one?
Okay, one, but just a short one.
Warwick Sin just pumping some blood. Put that blood into Warwick. So, no, the Zon green stuff is being pumped with blood. To revive him or to make him addicted to blood. It's his own blood too, right? Then just blood. Maybe not. Under.
Hey everyone, I'm Evan Humphreys, aka Riot Revenancer, the lead system designer for our motivations team. We're responsible for creating and maintaining the various systems around the game like loot, honor, and champion mastery, which is what I'm here to talk to you all about today. Champions are the most central part of League, and we love the dedication that a lot of you have to your mains. We want mastering champions to be a meaningful experience that lets you differentiate more between players who play champions some and players who play them a ton.
Okay.
So, we're uncapping the leveling system and letting you show up exactly how much you play your favorite champions. Level
Get
7 through 10
passive
will
shield
unlock
too.
new versions of the Mastery emote, and after that, we'll add an evolving number that displays your total Mastery level from 11 and beyond.
What?
And don't worry, your current champion Mastery points will carry over to the new system. So if you've already grinded to Mastery 7 on your main, there's no need to do it again. And those of you with enough Mastery points will end up at even higher levels. We'll be back again as we get closer to launch in the first half of the year with more info on this updated system.
Ooh, oh. Kind of cool. Arena? Looks like it.
Hey everyone, I'm Eduardo Cadmus Cortejoso, and I'm a team lead for game modes on League of Legends.
Cadmus.
Hi, I'm Selena Chuchu Liu, the delivery lead on the MOS team.
So last year, we released Arena and we
Cadmus.
received a huge amount of support from all of you.
Cadmus here was
We
the
brought
lead
it
dev
back
of
in
Arena.
December to test out some changes and make some improvements. We're happy to share, though, that it's coming back again in the first half of this year with even more improvements. Our goal for the next iteration of Arena is to increase champion diversity, improve game-to-game variance, and foster even more experimentation. One of our favorite parts of Arena is the ability to play some fun and wacky combinations that wouldn't and maybe shouldn't work in Summoner's Rift. So we want to encourage that with some more targeted changes to gameplay and game balance. The biggest change you'll see is that we're increasing the number of teams from 4 teams of 2 to 8 teams of 2, for a total of 16 players in each game of Arena, making Arena a 2v2, v2, 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 v2.
What?
This means that you'll face different teams more often, have more chances at redemption, and maybe get out early or crush the competition if you're really doing well.
You can also expect to see some new augments, new maps, and some other improvements that we're still right now exploring. Outside of Arena, we are also bringing back more game modes this year. Earth will be back for Lunar New Year,
Hey, I'll
and
be
then we'll be
honest.
following
You keep taking out Arena. Kind of annoying.
that up with One for All. We'll be sure to update you later in the year about what modes are going to come out after that.
Earth and all for
Oh,
one.
and one last thing. Even with all the work happening on Arena last year, we still have something else cooking behind the scenes.
We're experimenting with yet another new mode that, like Arena, will be a totally different take on core League gameplay. But unlike Arena, this will be a little bit more of a chill way to spend time with your friends. We don't want to spoil too much yet, so we'll be back later this year to share more.
Good luck, have fun, and we'll see you in ARAM, Arena, Earth, OFA, and TBD.
To be determined.
Last year, we spent some time behind the scenes working on updating League's anti-cheat and bot detection software, as our current version had fallen behind the times. This was compounded by the security breach earlier in the year, which increased our vulnerability to botting and cheating. And a pretty consistent piece of feedback that we've been hearing from you all is the high number of bots in games, disrupted smurfs in ranked, and an increase in scripting. We know this has been a consistent pain point in League, so it's been something we've been working on fixing.
One of our goals this year is to maintain and improve the competitive integrity in all of your League games, whether it's in ranked or normals, Clash, Arena, whatever. So in late February or early March, we're bringing Vanguard to League. Vanguard is our proprietary anti-cheat and anti-botting software that's been active in Valorant since the beginning.
Okay.
We've seen a huge amount of success in their ability to catch and stop cheaters in their games, and we expect to see similar results when we implement it in League.
Like
Similar to
scripters.
Valorant's version of Vanguard, Leagues will run at the kernel level. This is becoming standard for strong anti-cheat software in gaming, as cheat and bot makers are quick to adapt. If you don't run at this level, they will, and thereby evade all of the anti-cheat software as a result. Now, Vanguard offers us the ability to catch bots and cheaters as quickly and effectively as possible. It also gives us the opportunity to do things like hardware ban offenders and terminate matches in which a cheater is detected.
Whoa.
Refunding loss of LP for
What the
everybody
hell?
except the person cheating, of course.
Now, we know that there's a question and concern of data privacy around kernel-level anti-cheat. This is something that came up with Vanguard and Valorant as well, and we want to take a moment to tackle those concerns up front here. Vanguard does not collect or process any personal information differently from our current anti-cheat software. We don't need or want to know anything more about you or your machine other than what is necessary to maintain integrity when playing our games. Now, if you already have Vanguard installed because you've played Valorant, you won't need to do anything else and you can continue as normal. But if you haven't, starting in a few weeks, you'll be required to install Vanguard in order to play League.
We know that this may be a meaningful change, but we're very confident it will lead to an overall better League experience for everyone. We'll be sure to communicate with you all as the changes go live and to let you know how things are going afterwards. All right, we're going to hand things back off to the dev team now for an update on some of the skins coming to League this year.
like trying to craft a unique fantasy where you can't have any kind of costuming on the stretch locations and like the thighs, the knees, the elbows, so you're kind of isolated to
Hey everyone, I'm Stephanie 100-Piece Nuggets Leong, the Skins team lead.
And I'm Thomas Ranby, aka Riot Hylia, the concept art lead for Skins. Today we're going to talk a bit about some of the upcoming thematics for League, some of our goals for 2024, and we're going to give you all an update on our ASUs. But first, I believe we owe you an updated Prestige skin list.
Yes, we do.
Ta-da! Oh.
In the first half of the year, you can expect Prestige skins for Rakan, Ezreal, Kindred, Evelynn, and Kayle in that order. We'll be back later in the year to give you all an update on the second half of the year. We also wanted to give you all an update on our 2 ASUs. Lee Sin's base is finalized, and we've been working through his extensive skin catalog. We spent a lot of time testing out his animations to make sure we didn't impact his smooth gameplay, and have been sure to similarly focus on this with his skins. We're really excited to put him and his newly unbroken neck into your hands, and you can expect to bring him onto the Rift in early May. We did want to give you a heads up that we have run into a few challenges with Teemo. Such a troublemaker.
Mischievous.
Ugh, seriously.
Oh.
His ASU is taking us a bit longer than we originally intended, and we're currently figuring out our updated timelines, but we'll be back with an update later this year with a sweeper to let you know when to expect an updated
I don't know
Swiss
how
Scale
he
Conquest.
looks. If he looks like
All right.
this, League's gonna
now
look
on
so
to the
weird
new
with
and
him.
returning skin thematics of the year. So
No more
first up, we're going to be celebrating the
Teemo.
Lunar New Year with a brand new thematic called Heaven Scale, which pays homage to the rich cultural heritage of the holiday. In the world of Heaven Scale, a curious court of deities take on human guises and descend from their palaces in the clouds to take part in the mortal celebrations below. So Heaven Scale's design fantasy skews a bit more heavily into ancient historical divinity and garments in order to distance itself from our more modern takes on the Lunar New Year, like lunar beasts or firecracker. We wanted to take care to preserve the majestic and beautiful designs while also keeping a fun and celebratory tone in line with the spirit of the holiday.
I know we'll love this.
We also have another brand new thematic coming up that
care.
delves into a world where primal instinct reigns supreme, called Primal Ambush. Primal Ambush draws heavy inspirations from the refined skill of martial artists and the raw, fierce strength of tigers themselves. We wanted to show some love to our Southeast Asian players in particular with this thematic. We really drew a ton of inspiration from that region, the fashions of those cultures, where tigers naturally live and hold a great deal of cultural significance.
You never do
We'll
American
also have the
flag
return of some established
champs.
thematics like porcelain, recent favorite fairy
don't
court,
like
as
themselves.
well as some well-loved thematics we haven't visited in a few years, like
China's the
Project
money.
and Blood Moon. And you can expect to see all of these come out before summer this year.
We've also been taking a look at some improvements we can make outside of just what new skins we're releasing. So some of our older legendaries, for instance, were released before we started adding content such as legendary borders. So we're going to be going back to add them to skins that missed out. This includes skins such as Broloff, Corporate Mundo, and Dragon Trainer Tristana. Trist will actually be live in just a few days.
And finally, we have some skins coming out for champions who haven't had as much love in a little bit. As of filming, Rammus is currently sitting in the 1,000-Day Club,
cool.
and Olaf is hot on his tail.
All right, well, that's it for us for
That's
now.
so cool.
We're going to
That's
hand
so
things over
cute.
to the Esports team, who will give you an update on the competitive side of League
No one's
that
gonna
we
play that champs,
definitely
though.
should have been drafted for.
Yep, absolutely.
Silver 2.
I am iron.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nazala Taha.
And I'm Chris Greeley.
And we are so excited to kick off the 14th season of LoL Esports. And we want to give you a look at some of our plans for 2024. So let's start by talking about our global events, MSI and Worlds.
Wait.
We want our international events to have a strong
What's your
regional
name?
representation.
So excited to kick off the 14th.
This year, we're making it so that there are 3 base slots for the LPL, LCK,
That's Saudi money,
LEC,
really?
and LCS at Worlds, with new ways for teams and regions to earn additional slots. The LLA, CBLOL,
Heard Saudi money's
PCS,
coming
and the
into it.
BCS will have their slots remain unchanged.
And we're keeping the same double elim format from MSI 2023, but we're going to up the stakes even more this year. For the first time ever, the winning MSI team will be awarded a guaranteed spot at Worlds, which also counts as an additional slot for their region. And the next best performing region at MSI will secure an additional world seed for their region.
Yeah, and we can't wait to see the increased competition at MSI this year.
Oh,
and while we're
MSI.
talking about MSI, we wanted to share that this year's MSI will be held from May 1st through the 19th in Chengdu, China. This is the first time we've brought a global lolly sports event to this vibrant city, and we're so excited to see the amazing crowds there cheer on their favorite teams.
Kind of.
And we'll be back with more updates on MSI the closer we get to the event.
Basically.
Last year in Korea, we announced that Worlds would be returning to Europe, with the finals taking place in London, England at the O2 Arena. Today, we wanted to let you know where the rest of the tournament will be held.
Well, we'll be kicking off Worlds in Berlin at our newly remodeled Esports Arena for the play-ins and Swiss stages. Then we'll head to the Adidas Arena in Paris, France for quarterfinals and semifinals. Fans brought so much energy to the Paris finals in 2019, and we're really excited to see what you all do for not just one, but 2 stages of Worlds there.
Worlds will run from September 24th through November 2nd, and we'll be back later this year as we get closer to the event to announce ticket sales dates.
Now, as we embark on the 2024 season, we are so proud to commemorate 14 remarkable years of LoL Esports. Throughout this decade and a half, we've witnessed pro players from around the world leave their mark, displaying incredible resilience, mastery of League of Legends gameplay, and inspiring millions of fans across the globe. To celebrate those who have made a lasting impact on the game, the sport, and the community, and really honor their legacies, we are proud to introduce the LoL Esports Hall of Legends.
There are a number of pro players worthy of being inducted into our unique version of a Hall of Fame. So we've gathered an independent voting panel of esports industry veterans and experts from every region around the world to vote and select our very first inductee.
Each year, those inducted into the Hall of Legends will have their historic careers celebrated both IRL and in-game. Now, we're currently collecting votes, and we'll be back later this year to share more.
And finally, all of our regional leagues are gearing up for the start of the 2024 competitive season. You can tune in on lolesports.com beginning January 13th to keep up with all of your favorite teams and pros.
We can't wait to watch the 2024 LoL Esports season with all of you. Good luck and have fun on your climbs. Thank you in advance for tuning in and supporting your favorite teams and leagues. Now, here's Riot Brightmoon and Medler to wrap us up.
Oh, I love the guy who smiles.
All right, before we go, we wanted to remind you that we're celebrating a special birthday for League this year. We are turning 15. We are so close to being able to finally drive a car.
Oh, in the US at least. But we're looking forward to celebrating with you all later this year. We're not doing new game announcements this time. This year is all about League and celebrating our 15th birthday with all of you.
So look forward to the celebrations coming in October. And as a reminder, don't forget to check out the dev blogs that go into more detail on some of the topics we discussed today. We'll also be back with our regular dev updates as usual after this video. So we'll be seeing you soon.
Yeah, I think season 15 will be kind of cool.
And welcome to season 2024.
14 is like pretty cool already, but damn. Oh, what's this? Trendamir. It's Trend? I don't know who that is. I don't know what that was for. Maybe it's, oh, it's a preview to like the thing. All right, cool. That was a fun video.